Hello and welcome to one of 4 WCG USA national qualifiers. This is the grand finals of one of the 4 qualifiers, and the winner of this one moves on to WCG USA. The teams we have here are Chicks Dig Elo and Oh God Bears. So as we start into this game, we have Chicks Dig Elo, which is the team we're going to be watching. They are blue team, their health bars are green, which is a CLG TSM mixed team. It's basically the Americans, the best Americans from Team Solo Mid and Team Counterlogic Gaming. And they're against one of the other great American teams, Oh God Bears, or OGB, and they're purple and have red health bars. So as we follow around, this is a best of 3. Basically, the first team to win 2 games in a row is going to move on in this series, and so you'll be watching this game and the next to see who moves on and makes it to WCG USA Finals. There are other qualifiers, so don't lose hope in case your favorite team loses here. 4 teams will be going, and this will just prove the first of those. So right off the bat, CDE, and I'll actually probably make the mistake of calling them TSM or CLG at some point because the players are wearing those tags. They're wearing their official team tags as opposed to CDE. They're invading the enemy jungle. They put a ward down, and they find Singed right off the bat. And Singed taking a gold card from Shen, but not quite getting hit by that Shen taunt. Gonna move back, but now TSM, of course, there's right away me saying the wrong team name. Have already managed to take control of the Golem, but a little bit of an interesting thing here, as the smite comes out from Kobe24, gives the Golem buff to Janna, so possibly a mistake there. Now, Nocturne doesn't need the Golem buff in order to jungle quite well. And look at the lineups real quick. Janna, Caitlyn, Shen, Nocturne, Twisted Fate for the blue team for CLG. So they've got Shen going to be running solo top, Janna going to be babysitting Caitlyn at the bottom, and you're going to see Caitlyn actually have to fight against Singed and Zilean bot lane, which can be a lot of aggression. We see over by the ward in the top of the map that they see Udyr jungling for Oh God Bears. So we have Aurelia versus Shen solo top, and I'm calling Oh God Bears, and then CDE. Malzahar versus Twisted Fate mid, and then Singed Zilean versus Janna and Caitlyn bottom. So a bit of an interesting lineup switch here. Now both teams are running a tanky champion up top. But St. Vish is actually running more of a pure tank champion. Shen really more defensive than offensive, whereas Aurelia is really about killing enemy champions. You can see she actually has the level advantage right now, both from pushing the lane and from not having given enough experience by not being part of that jungle gank at the bottom. So Shen a little bit behind here. You can see his health not in great shape, but doing a pretty good job of last hitting these minions. We see Chowster and Xpecial taking quite a bit of damage here. The cool thing about Singed and Zilean is they have a great combo where Zilean can haste Singed, and then Singed can run up and fling, and then there's a lot of damage that can be done there with time bombs and everything else. So Chowster taking a time bomb, but it's getting shielded by Janna quite well, and of course Xpecial having pretty much infinite mana due to this Golem buff is quite powerful for him. So they're going to keep running that for quite some time. You see St. Vish is still trying to last hit minions as best he can at the bottom of the map, not doing a great job as of course he is pushed into his turret. So he's going to do what he can, but he's not in great shape. Como from Oh God Bears playing Aurelia, doing a really good job of keeping him at his turret, forcing that fight there. And of course, not very afraid of the ganks from Nocturne, is pretty sure of himself and his ability to run away. So you can see Como running with pretty much full health now. St. Vish is down to about half, and Como's going to keep this pressure up and do a really good job in trying to push the farm towards his favor. Over in the mid, we see Nocturne crossing off for the right-hand side of the jungle. Going to be picking up Lizard buff pretty soon. We'll be rocking a little bit of damage there on those raids. Going to move on towards that Lizard. Going to try to pick up that buff. And probably coordinate a gank from there. In the meantime, Twisted Fate and Malzahar continuing to deal damage to themselves in mid. Not a lot of headway being made right now, but you can see Singed getting incredibly low, and Lightning taking a ton of damage as well. But Flash is back behind the turret, barely getting away with basically one hit from death. But Chowster not wanting to waste any summoners and risk death to a turret just for the kill. Because here's the thing, if you push an enemy champion back away from his turret and you force him to heal, he's out of the lane. You're getting free farm, you're getting pretty much experience unaggressed entirely, so you're pretty much getting a lot of advantage there. But if you push and kill someone and get to the turret, well, he's gone from the lane just as he was before, but so are you. And now Chowster, well, he would get that first blood kill, unable to farm minions and able to level up. And that's kind of a big deal when you're dual laning. You really want to get experience when you can, because otherwise you're going to be falling farther and farther behind. So St. Vish is going to be just soloing up top, doing the best he can. Of course, I have to move around a little bit, make sure I don't disconnect from the game. Unfortunately, observer mode wasn't working for us this game. But moving on, Shen doing what he can to kill these minions off. Unfortunately, missing quite a few there. We see Reginald in mid with Twisted Fate actually pushing that wave to his turret, and we see Ghetto Fabulous, the Udyr, starting finally on his lizard buff for himself. We see Kobe24 Nocturne running from the minimap, going for his own lizard buff right now as well. So both players pretty much equally paced throughout the jungle. Oh God Bears, I guess, a little bit farther ahead in that they've already started that lizard buff right now. We can see the minion kill count, and we can see Malzahar doing a great job, but not quite up to Reginald's standard. And Chowster rocking 32, but we see by the Shen score of 23, not doing quite as well as Aurelia, who's at 32, who's actually tied for top score in the game. So, again, we did see Aurelia's early pushing doing quite a good job of getting extra minion kills, but Caitlyn and Twisted Fate really holding that standard quite well. Now, we do see Udyr over getting pinged right now by that Wraith camp. Now, we could get ganked, of course. Twisted Fate is level 6, and sure enough, we see well, we just see the Clairvoyance go dark, no extra pressure going on just yet. But now that Aurelia has hit 6, she has fully healed. But oh man, Twisted Fate has shown up at this Wraith camp, and the damage output is quite immense. Ted coming in as well for the global teleport. Will get the assist credit and will not quite dive in there. But Reginald doing a very good job picking up that lizard buff, taking down Ghetto Fabulous, and First Blood going to Twisted Fate. Aggressive play right there, teleporting into that brush and pushing Udyr back away from the rest of the map. Now Aurelia has moved away from those minions and is looking to find either a fight or just simply to heal. But Reginald rocking the lizard buff, quite powerful there, just dropping down a ton of minions right now, and picking up a lot of gold for himself. You can see 41 CS now in Caitlyn, but a nice 40 there for Aurelia. So, you know, still, Oh God Bear is doing very well in minion kills. But of course, first kill the Team Solo Mid, and by Team Solo Mid, of course, I do mean Chicks Dig Elo, CDE. But Team Solo Mid's captain, Reginald, of course, picking up that first kill. And here we go, Tryptamine with Singed running at Chowster. The time bomb gets blocked quite nicely by the Janna shield, and the 90 caliber net pushing Singed back, not causing a lot of problems there. So Singed, not able to get a lot of damage output there. Shen last hitting what he can against Aurelia. Again, Chowster must be a little bit careful, as Singed could get hasted by Zilean, and bad things could happen. But the good thing about duoing with a Janna is that Janna has 2 crowd control abilities that she can cast. She has both the Tornado from Howling Gale and the Slow from Zephyr, and between those 2 abilities you can pretty much thwart any aggression from the opponents. You can see the Kobe24 trying to run in from the jungle, casting Duskbringer, and now he and Janna running up towards Udyr. They've got to be a little bit careful how this plays out. Now he has jumped into the brush now, and that's going to be very scary now, because they know that Zilean and Singed are close by. Twisted Fate's going to come in to help. There's a knock-up on Singed. They will not push in. Actually, they will. They didn't go right away. They waited for, I guess, that Singed Q to end. But they're not coming into range. They will try to stop him from taking that golem, and they will, in fact. Ghetto Fabulous now push back, very, very low on health. Special managing to get silenced a little bit, and now taking a ton of damage from Malzahar. Malzahar will probably pick that kill up. There's Singed with the fling as well. Lightning goes down, so they do kill Zilean, and looks like, ooh, Malzahar was in trouble. But now Singed is in the hot seat, taking a lot of enemies out at once, and up there's the stun Twisted Fate, still running back as fast as he can. One more hit from Dead. Can they pick up that kill? Twisted Fate ultimate comes in. They're going to pick up Udyr as much as they can, and Malzahar. Can they pick them up? Looks like Malzahar will drop down, and Udyr, I believe, does survive. Singed getting chased down by Chowster, and does in fact die. So a few escapes, a few narrow escapes, but now St. Vicious not in great shape. Como still pushing down on him, doing a lot of damage, but a great number of kills there. Now 4 kills for Chicks Dig Elo, and only the 1 death as Janna went down. And that's just great stuff right there for them. And even if Shen did have his teleport available, I believe Aurelia would have been able to stop that with Equilibrium Strike. Would probably be able to get herself to low enough health to drop that channel with the stun. Still get the shield, but prevents Twisted Fate from getting any aid, and from Shen from going in to help. So players not able to dive those turrets too hard, but of course still did pick up 3 kills quite nicely. Caitlyn picking up 2 of them, which is really, really wonderful to have lots of gold on that physical carry. They do scale probably the best with golden items, so Caitlyn getting lots of kills, really, really powerful. Looks like St. Vicious has been maxing Vorpal Blade, actually, and getting a lot of minion kills with that ability. It's very powerful, of course. So last hitting quite nicely there, and continuing to farm up as much gold as he can, just staying solo top and ready to ultimate in. It looks like actually Shen did not use his ultimate in that fight. I didn't know if I missed it or if he just didn't use it at all, because now his ultimate is up, so Shen can now teleport into any fight he wishes to, can support any of his teammates, and the last hitting routinely in the meantime. So we look back at the bottom lane, and Chowster and Janna still rocking that bottom lane 7 and 5, so no Janna ultimate is a bit of a problem for Chicks Dig Elo. Shouldn't be a big issue. as she's not required to be level 6 to be powerful, but certainly being level 6 means she does have that ultimate. It's not Howling Gale, it is Monsoon, and Monsoon really good at stopping Aurelia from doing lots of powerful things. Basically, Monsoon will force all nearby enemies back, will force them out of range, and it's going to give a lot of power. And there's the shot, and yes, Chowster does pick up that kill onto Zilean, just farming it, basically farming kills off his bottom lane, using Ace in the hole, that ultimate, getting Zilean low, then just channeling that ulti, and Zilean not having the ability, not having the ability to cast the ultimate on himself and make himself revive, being only level 5 there, that's kind of a problem for him. So an 0-2 Zilean does have a Heart of Gold, but that doesn't give armor anymore, so it's not giving him a lot of tools to stop this Caitlyn. But we see a 3-man push bottom, and of course Twisted Fate and Shen both have the ability to come support that fight. So pretty much a free dragon kill there from Caitlyn, Nocturne, and Janna. Going to pick up Dragon and pick themselves up a 5-1 kill lead, and now 1-0 on Dragon. The Twisted Fate with Golem buff getting a ton of work done, just pushing through and taking down this turret pretty closely. Just taking tons of damage now, below a third health. Chowster just farming minions at the bottom lane. And there we go, St. Vicious has dropped down Peterfly. It looks like he did jump in there, ultimating onto Twisted Fate, keeping himself alive against that burst. Basically, Malzahar came in there and tried to pick down Twisted Fate, and Shen came in, reacted just in time, saved him with the ultimate, and through that effort picked up a kill and kept Twisted Fate alive. So really a powerful stuff. Now Twisted Fate though gonna jump into that turret, and getting jumped on by Singed and Aurelia, getting flung back into tower range. He's gonna go down to Udyr, almost takes on Udyr, and in fact the turret getting one more hit and does pick up that kill. So 1 for 1 there, but of course the assisted kill worth quite a bit more. And it looks like Oh God Bear still gonna pick up that turret regardless. So Reginald making a small mistake and wasting his ultimate. He did pick up a kill, which was nice, but in the end, really, I think it was more of a negative than a positive. He did not continue to push the mid lane, and he ended up giving out more than he was worth, or rather more than that Udyr kill was worth, as he gave out more experience in gold, being that he was high level and had a minor killing spree. I believe he was 2 kills up. So a bit of extra gold. Ultimately just a slightly mistaken move, but still, you know, the effort was there. He almost saved the turret. He did kill Udyr, which is pretty strong. Meanwhile, Shen did take over mid for a short time to make sure that experience and gold were gotten. So we move on and we see Chowster, and he's on Caitlyn, of course, and Nocturne and Janna all in the back of the map, all back in the fountain, healing up. We see Twisted Fate still back at it in mid, going to try to push down onto Malzahar as best he can. Does have to be afraid of Aurelia and Udyr, who are both missing on the map and are great tower diving, just aggressing champions. We see Aurelia running back towards the top of the map, of course with a free turret there. Going to make Shen be a little bit unsafe if he ever pushes that lane up. But in the meantime, Singed soloing bottom, going to teleport back most likely. Malzahar meeting with Janna in the middle. Janna should be fine, and of course so should Malzahar. Janna not exactly one of the biggest champion killing champions in the game. So looks like Twisted Fate and Nox are going to go ahead and try to take down his Golem buff. I believe they're going to give it to Reginald. Yes, Nox is going to back off, but the damage over time tick from that Lizard buff actually manages to steal that. That's the second time that Golem has now been repossessed mistakenly on this team. Janna stealing the very first one early on, but wasn't too big of a problem. And now we see Nocturne, of course, barely stealing that Golem buff with his Lizard buff, stealing that from Twisted Fate. And they've been giving Twisted Fate the Golem buff pretty much the entire game. He's really a great champion to have infinite mana on. It basically just gives you such incredible mana regeneration and cooldown reduction that it becomes very hard to run out of mana. You can basically just spam your spells repeatedly with no end. Of course, Aurelia now the first champion to 100 minion kills, doing a great job there. Doing the level difference, and it's pretty good, but